All right. Check, check, check. What's up? What's up? For those of you tuning in on YouTube, remember to check out the disclaimer. Remember that day trading is risky business indeed. And by the way, I'll fix my audio. Check, 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 check. Okay, looks a little bit better. Yeah, so remember that trading is risky. A lot of people out there are having a hard time. So take it slow. Utilize the simulators, practice, improve before getting aggressive with big size. So there's BCTX, there's ZENA, and CNEY as the top three stocks. BCTX looks pretty good. It's up 70%. It's at 930. ZNEA at 274, up 25%, pretty low percentage move. And then CNEY up 48%, but at 20 cents. It's been a while since we've seen the penny stocks be super strong, so here's the list. There's the list. Guys, don't forget to also hit the thumbs up as you're tuning in. Yeah, so BCTX, we got 1237 on a crazy push around 7:30 a.m. I mean, just look at how insane this is, right? From 575 to 1237 in like 7 minutes. Craziness. Since then, though, we've sold off and we've sold off aggressively. We have been able to recover, and as of recent, we have lows at $9. High of the current range, 965. So 9 by 965. The VWAP is at 925. We'll see how we're able to do here. The 200 EMA on the daily is at 1281 on the daily chart. 1281. No recap yesterday. I was at the doctor's office for a long time. And feeling much better today, but just home remedies, man. I did an x-ray and they said, why the hell did you show up here? Why did you come to waste our time? What's the energy? Despite barely being able to walk, that was the energy that I got. But I used some good old-fashioned icy hot. Feeling maybe 20-30% better, which is more than enough to be very comfortable here. So that's good news at least. But yeah, no recap yesterday. Let's see, BCTX. Okay, the daily chart looks good. As mentioned, 1280. And so basically the pre-market highs will be, the target here. Honestly, it's like the only one I'll probably look at. The other two, CNEY, I mean, unless the penny stocks are back, probably not going to be super aggressive here. There's a pretty wide range. Highs at 25 cents, low of 17. As of right now, we're at 19 cents, plus or minus. 68 cents for the 200 EMA on the daily. $68.39 to be exact. And we've had a big gap up and sell off February 24th to a high of 41 cents. Definitely could be an area where short sellers might target if this one is strong. But CNEY, we'll see. I think this was a strong stock once upon a time ago, last year as well. So we'll see. We'll see what it does. Other than that, ZENA up 20%, 17 million shares of volume. I'm going to clear the drawing set here. Pre-market highs, 319. Low of the current move, 253. VWAP is at 84. We'll want to see this one back over the whole dollar. 521 to 200 EMA on the daily chart. All right. I think, again, today is a matter of identifying the strong stock, starting with small size, not sizing up until we build somewhat of a cushion, and then risking that cushion and not anything more. We don't want to be overly aggressive to be red, deep red. That's been the challenge here for me, is sizing up too quickly on something that looks good and then, getting punched in the mouth repeatedly here. Even yesterday to start the day. If we didn't have that other stock come, it would have been a red day, right? When the market is hot, it's a little different if you start red, because there's an abundance of opportunities to get back to green, and we could do that. But when it's just one or two opportunities and then you start big red, then the day is kind of done. I don't trade till 4 p.m. like I used to. I'll go till 12, 1, and then maybe kind of keep an eye. But I'm not here fully locked in till 4 p.m. anymore. So the day is kind of short, right? Like by 10:30, it's like half the day is done. If you're only trading the first 3-4 hours, first 2 hours. So hopefully we can see something strong within the first hour. If not, keeping it slow, keeping it tight, taking it easy. Just another day, another good day, another beautiful day in the office. Nothing to be nervous about, nothing to be concerned about. In fact, we should be excited, knowing that we can manage risk, we can stay disciplined, we can build a cushion, we can keep it tight, and if something is strong, we can get green. Now, with that being said, it's a matter now of executing and keeping the discipline as we go. Can't forget the rules, can't forget the plan, can't just into the open, hey, 10,000 shares, and then, ruin the day in a sense, right? Still have to follow this regiment, this blueprint, and look to lock in. And I put on this hat and this blue light glasses to help my eyes with the lighting, so that I don't have any distractions here into the open. So we got 1 minute and 23 seconds till greatness. And BCTX might surprise us here with a strong day. All right, 40 seconds. 40 seconds till the open. So let's trade to the best of our abilities. Let's be disciplined. Let's lock it in. Lows at 23, I mean, lows of 9 if you want to really look at that low. Like low of 9, high of 65. Let's see how it does. It's not really pulling up from this level at 9. What is it going to be here? Watching it CERO, CERO. AREB from yesterday as well. Looks interesting. AERB and CERO, I think, right now looking good. AREB over 4 could be interesting. Gotta be quick with this one. AREB. Looking to string together a couple of winning trades here. Not quite an instant reclaim there. Waiting. See, I bought at 88. I'm filled at 93 right there. It's not okay, man. I would have caught this whole trade. CNEY did a red to green. This 5 minute candle has 40 seconds left. Let's see how it plays out. I gotta size down and give myself more time with this stock because it's not really doing anything here. I'd expect to move back to 25 here. Waiting, watching. I might want to retest the lows. Bro, nothing can go up here. Oh, come on. KW may resume in less than a minute. It's like it's ran out of steam already. HLX. one of two things right now. Either this is not the stock of the day, or I have to be patient and keep waiting. Because right now this is like there's not much here. Bro, this is not it. This is not stock. This is a phony, a fake. It's probably not gonna recover either. We'll see. 97 is gonna be a big level. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. There's 15 seconds left in this gamble. What's that low? 87. And okay. All right. Maybe there's hope. CERO, by the way. I'll take this setup if it plays out properly here. CERO. How are we doing?
KWE may resume in less than a minute. EPWK. QMCO.
It's possible we just see a quick red to green as well, so gotta stay ready for anything. This candle on the 5 minute is pretty young, so I'm hoping there's a little bit more range. You know what? I haven't looked at BCTX. We did have a small red to green.
SM. AMBP. MC. T8OK.
Look at that, bro. Like, on the micros, let's see.
AREB.
Thomas moves. This just doesn't even make sense, that type of move.
ATP.
Now the question is, what's the valid entry here? Can we keep going? Can we see 50, 60?
RCLB.
Bro, it's like one order came and the stock is at 10 and 20. And then there's a spread. One order.
Resumed in less than a minute.
No real buying on the tape there. Just
NY.
stock is at 10, stock is at 20. No retest to the lows. Trying to throw out a few trades because I'm not in any good rhythm here. Missing that last move. This is like a waste of time here. Just like this stock is driving me mad. Is there anything else moving? I kind of missed that big move from like 80. I needed 87 retests. Didn't quite come. Unless the range increases and it's more volatile, it doesn't make any sense. I'll wait. If it does squeeze, we got to be careful of backside.
CG
5 minute candle is red, so we could see a bigger pullback here. KWE is really light volume. KWE looking too chaotic. ARB back to 60. Guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. A bit of a slow day so far. Just taking it easy. Nothing looking good right now. Waiting on the sidelines. ARB coming down. CEP. What's the float on this one?
CEP.
Maybe this one. I'm gonna check it out. It's pretty extended here though. I'm just gonna keep chilling on the sidelines till something else. Will we see the double bottom? Or is this the beginning of the end? Is this the beginning of the end? Could be the depths. Could be the depths. Yesterday was a 1K day. Before we left out, I went to the doctor's office after morning session. CP, not my cup of tea. If it's halted, maybe it might become my cup of tea. All right, the day has been saved. Actually, this last setup here wasn't bad. This wasn't a bad setup right here. I personally wouldn't look to buy this and hold. I'm gonna be looking for the dip and rip. But this bull flag here turned out to be nice. So over the highs of 29.50, 31.50, not bad. AREB, I missed the dip at 387. And then break of 410 I missed. It was a little sudden, a little quick. There was something, but it wasn't like a strong indication. I would have needed to just throw out the order, and then I would have captured the move from 410 to, or maybe like 405, really, 408 to about 428, 430, which would have been a nice big trade. I think size is going to be the biggest factor on this resumption, being that it's a slow day, and I'm red. $400, just a couple hundred shares. It is a $30 stock, so you got to be careful. Probably make the risk is going to be anywhere from like $1 to $1.50, and the reward perhaps similar, $1, $1.50 to $2 a share. Kind of a 1-to-1 ratio. So accuracy is of course everything on these trades. So if the setup is not there, it's not going to be worth taking. My goal isn't really to like get a big green day out of this particular trade, so I'm just going to use small size. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Man, who would have thought that Icy Hot would have worked so well? Feel much better than yesterday, man. There's 56 seconds for CEP. cooked. Oh my gosh. What was that, man? Halt levels increasing.
EONY. HOLO.
Early. It's an early exit. I'm getting cooked in the spreads. So I'll wait. Lows, yeah, we've already priced in the lows there. Wasn't a pretty defined bottom, but if you're just giving it a shot.
HOLO. CEP. HOLO. SNCY. CEP. KEP. CEP. Set halted. CEP will resume at 10 hours 35 minutes and 33 seconds. RZLB. CEP.
I could not identify the bottoms there properly, so I'll just kind of eased off. Nothing super obvious for me on the tape, but if you're out there and you're throwing out the order to see, which I'm not willing to throw out the order to see on this one. But if you're being a little bit more aggressive to just throw out the order, then you could have captured two of those for about $3, maybe more. Moving well, just a little tricky to determine the bottom.
INSM.
Is this resumption worth it? I think so, but it comes down to if we're seeing something pretty defined, and it's volatile but also defined, right? If it's like a gray area, I'm probably just gonna leave it. And I say that for me as in like the signal for the entry.
HOL.
What is the news on this stock? CEP.
BOWA. CYH.
There's a minute. There's a minute to resumption. Mm, 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 mm.
Down halted. BOWN will resume at 10 hours 38 minutes and 52 seconds. CYH.
Watching with small size again. I think this resumption is still worth it. But after this, I want to be careful of a bigger pullback because the stock is pretty extended, of course. $10. We're 38.10. Here we go.
CEP. RMD.
That was a pretty good entry. No bounce. So we might see a bigger pullback here. We'll see. Hold down, 33. That's why it's good not to overtrade it if it's not, that instant bounce. One winning trade, 4 losing trades back to flat. Well, that's the type of pullback I like to see out of the resumption, as in the first initial drop. The first that other resumption didn't really have a good pullback. Kind of held up somewhat sideways and then went, which was, it still gave the move, which was good. But if you get the bigger pullback, usually it's like a bigger win.
Step halted. CVP will resume 10 hours 41 minutes and 29 seconds.
For those of you watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Two minutes to that resumption, 2 minutes.
VP.
EXYZ.
The dips have been hard to determine, so it's going to be tricky. 39 to 33. If we can see, it's showing 33.07, which is sideways. I like if we resume and there's like more of a drop. It would be like really nice to see.
Even in what? Susan and A. BCT. CVP may resume in less than a minute.
ZENA is moving up a little bit. If it gets over 3, could be interesting. But it's been known for flushing out here.
MP. CYA.
It's showing 32.70 resumption. 10 seconds.
CEP.
It's fluctuating a little bit. Can we see 33?
NFE.
Bro, I jumped the gun on that trade, bro. Ah, that was nice. It might be holding. Bro, that was clean, bro. Why did I take that up? They already priced in the low. Why did I take that above the whole dollar? Bro, that was clean. It's definitely worth watching. And I take the loss. I didn't want to buy back.
CENA. MP. VOWN may resume in less
I mean, I don't know if it can crawl all the way back up, but there's definitely opportunity in the range. Sorry, 3 times.
BERB. CENA.
Up and then down. Are we holding? A little choppy there.
VOWN. BERB. NFE.
Oh, there's a new low. It's up and down. Like one last attempt at 50, 60. All right. Oh, fair is fair. The first 3 times it held up nicely. Fourth, fifth time, not so much.
BOWN.
It hasn't breaking down completely though. It's kind of like the last line in the sand here. Below 31, I think, is the depths. And there it is. Bro, I had that, bro. The freaking trade to 31. First trade, good trade. Second trade, took it early. Took it at like 32.50 for no reason.
BRWN.
It's like, brother, wait for the lows. Wait for the bottom. That there's an execution issue right there in that last trade.
Now halt. VOWN will resume at 10 hours 50 minutes and 21 seconds. Phone halted. VOWN will resume at 10 hours 49 minutes and 43 seconds.
Are we going to see anything else? Or is that the day? Man, I can't be making those silly mistakes in these slower markets. or we will have to pay the price of a red trade. ZENA just seems very untrustworthy because of all the topping wicks. Like if we get over 3, and I'm buying 301, what are the odds that this stock doesn't just flush back down to 80? Every time it's given a push, it just flushed back down. So even if I wait right here for 3, what are the odds that it's not right back down again?
TOI.
Bro, AREB. I mean, there's room to be green today, of course. As always, there's always opportunities to be green. AREB, the dip at 385, and then the break of 410. You can't afford to miss those 2 trades. For me and how I want to approach that stock, I can't afford to miss those 2 trades. I missed both of them. The stock gets to 430, then slowly pushes up to 50, then it's a bit of a grind to 60, 70.
AMVP.
But that trade in there was too good to miss, and then too inaccurate here on this resumption. CEP, 1 good trade and then like 8 losers in a row. One good trade, 4 losers. 1 good trade, 3 losers, 2 losers. Definitely the type of stock I needed to be way more aggressive towards, like as in putting out orders. The P&L would have been more, I think, a little bit more. Like there'd have been more fluctuation, but we would have done well with aggression early in this push here, like trying those bottoms and just giving it a shot, throwing out the order. Doesn't seem like there's much else.
AMVP.
This is a good candle here. It's 30 seconds, but again, is this the type of stock that can curl back up to 36? Or is this officially backside? We've already had a very strong move through and through from the open. 18 to 39. What are the odds this holds up and then goes again? Candle's about to close. This is where I shut it down. This is where I shut it down.
BOWE. AMVP. APLD.
Yep, okay, that'll do it. Stay safe, stay green. Bro, these slower days are like you can't there's no room for error. That's the best way to put it. If you do exactly everything you're supposed to do every single time, you will end these days green. But the moment you mess up, you miss 2 trades, you hesitate in 1 or 2 areas, that's it. Now, unless opportunities are going to come, maybe 11, 11:30, 12 p.m., 1, maybe power hour, the day is kind of looking slow. But if you're here and something else comes, then maybe you have a chance to add to the day or recover the day, whatever. But
MVP.
I find myself making too many mistakes. And when it's not hot, when it's hot, it's easier to recover. There's just opportunities over and over throughout the morning, the afternoon. So when you mess up and you make mistakes, it's like it's easy to cover. Ay ay ay.
DGXX.
Let me see if there's any questions coming in, and then I will be out of here. We had some people asking about Momo Pro versus this Day Trade Dash, and I'm gonna make a video. I think I'm gonna put out a video this weekend, going over. But for the people here right now, honestly, in the scanners, there's not a huge difference. There's not a huge difference. I do think this one is better though, right? In terms of the filter for the Hive Day scanner being a little bit more clean, a little, let's say, a little less noisy compared to Momo Pro. There's that, and then there's also the 10-second chart if you're really interested in using it. The issue I have with the 10-second chart or even charts outside of my broker is that it's not integrated, it's not linked. And I already have a hard enough time going from stock to stock and pulling that up on this main screen. There's no way that I can take time to be pulling up another stock like on another platform. It's just too much to be doing for me. Like coming here and then having to put this over to the stock that I'm looking at every single time. It just takes too much time. But it is good that the platform has a 10-15 second chart if you want to use it. It's here. But in terms of the scanner, which is why I'm using this, just pure scanners, is slightly better. It's marginally better. Momo Pro, the Hive Day scanner, needs to be a little bit more tighter. And I think a percentage gain filter is what could really help out there. For this one, the scanners are somewhat preset to whatever was created. And so, if we kind of move this out of the way here,
APLD.
the scanners are preset to whatever was created. So there's not much flexibility in like building something, to my understanding. But for small caps, this is essentially what we would be looking at. But if you want to still make your scanner tighter, for example, XELB, right? XELB. How's this look?
CNNA.
XELB. Personally, I would never want to see this. Me personally, for what I want to see, there's just no way I want to see this. Like this doesn't look like anything remotely close to what I'd want to trade. So this one is also not perfect. I think it's slightly better. Now let me double check pricing, right? Because that's also a big thing. But the gap scanners are like the same. The one from Day Trade Dash does not include, um at least, I mean, I guess there's different ones, but
CNNA.
the one that saves Ross's top gappers is like no penny stocks. I know a lot of you guys will like penny stocks, so you'd have to like either select one of the other ones that might have it. Let's see. Let me double check here. So if I pull up Momo Pro, and I know theirs get a little noisy too after the open.
NG.
Let's see.
XELB Alter.
I think, what was the penny stock on the watch list?
9 minutes and 41 seconds.
CNEY, which is up. How much are we up? 22%. Let's see. I can't remember. I think I had two scanners. I'm looking at my different scanners that I had.
JZXN may resume in less than a minute.
Yeah, it's up 22%. CYH. This one is a. And what's the? I guess the float also will matter. So let me double check the float. But yeah, that's something to at least keep in mind. Is that, if you're looking at penny stocks, sometimes you want the flexibility to in the scanner to change the price range and those type of things. But definitely, maybe in like another day or two, even to like just really like look into everything this thing offers. Because once I pulled up these charts, I'll be honest, I let not the charts, the scanners. I didn't look at anything else because I didn't come to use it for anything else. Right. So every single tab here is probably worth investigating to see what is there that comes with the scanner. But there's just pure scanner to scanner. You know, again, the gap scanner is basically the same. Just keep in mind the penny stocks part of it, and then the Hive Day scanner. I think the Dash platform is a little bit better. It's a little less noisy. The chime is good to like keep in mind something is moving up. But Momo Pro you can also set alerts as well, right? There's like the voice alerts. There's a bunch of scanners. There's scanners in Thinkorswim. There's scanners in there's free scanners on YouTube. Kind of all depending on like your budget and what you're looking for, what you're looking at.
TMT.
But I'm gonna make a organized video, look through everything, get everything together, get all the points listed in a good order, and then go from there. Yeah, this one is one, and this is pretty pricey, right? So there's 197 a month versus Momo Pro. Let me double check.
ELB may resume.
Probably most people are probably not going to use this one unless they're like really making profits, because usually people who are break even, they're trying to keep the expenses as low as possible. That way they're not like losing too much. But I like to say use whatever works, but it has to make sense for each person individually.
TMC.
Why is it so hard to locate the pricing on everything? It's like never in your face. Okay, there we go. So the most advanced version of Momo Pro is 37 bucks. This stock might get back to Hive Day. Yeah, so 197 versus 37 is a huge difference, right? Momo Pro has charts as well, but they don't have like 10-second charts. 15 seconds. Anything outside of the broker, charting wise, is just tough for me because it's not integrated.
OMEX.
It's quite the run. It's a good 5-minute candle.
ADHL.
34 potential resistance for now. 34.4.
OMEX.
Meaning that it's I like this red to green, so I'm gonna keep an eye here for a little bit.
JZXN may resume in less than a minute.
Bottoms are subtle. There's a new low, 28.8, 32, 32.28.
OMEX.
KITT.
See, that right there is a tough part of this one. And the spread is about 30 cents. Minutes.
HLP. CYBT.
XELB may resume in less than a minute.
KLXE.
8OK. OMEX. CYBT. USARW.
Is the breakout trade worth it?
HUT.
There's a 50-cent spread there.
XALB.
Or like the more I watch it, it's like the more I'm thinking like, yeah, just
CORZW. OMEX halted. OMEX will resume at 11.
yeah, okay, I'll leave this one alone. Might go, but if it goes, it'll go without me. All right, I'm out of here. Down seven, all $800. Red $800. Green 1K yesterday. Red 800 today. And we're still in this drawdown of like 3K. Not good. Bro, this. I mean, yet again, I can't complain because there was enough to be green. So it's fair, it's fine. But this momentum is slow. Momentum is slow. Holy smokes, and I'm missing this OMEX. The last hope on the day, I'm missing, brother.
JZXN may resume in less than a minute.
Is this the first halt? Oh, look at this, dude. Oh, come on. So again, OMEX didn't hit the scan. Like, that's a problem, right? I mean, there's no reason that OMEX is not hitting this scan and then a stock like XELB is hitting is just nonsense. So there's improvements to be made. Like, despite how good a platform could be, there's things that could be better. And can I collapse this? No. Okay, I'll just open up another one. Scans, scanners, high of day. Okay, there we go.
KITT.
KITT. Fuck. Okay, it'll work. The halt scan. It's kind of different. This layout. Continuation. Okay, we'll have to fix this.
GRRR.
And I can't remember how I had it. Anyhow, we'll figure that out.
KITT.
Resumption. Couple seconds. A minute 40 seconds. There's no. Yeah, trade ideas. I I have nothing bad to say, I guess, because I've used it before via, through E-Trade, and it was good. Man, that day I remember so vividly. There was someone in the chat room who I helped for like an hour set up their scanners, and then the next day they're messaging me because this person would trade pre-market. They're messaging me at like 7 a.m. like,
OMEX may resume in
what's
5
going on with the
seconds.
scans? And before you know it, scanners are gone. Anyhows, quickly, let me just adjust my share size.
ASTS.
We're at 81 cents. We're halted up at 77. Is that correct? No. We're halted up at 81. It's showing 77. And we see the old-fashioned dip and rip. The last hope on the day. 20 seconds. Five, four, here we go.
DMCWW.
RMAX.
There's a seller. That was a good dip.
KITT.
Oh, I'm gonna try one more time. 72? No, my fills are bad. All right, we got something.
OMEX.
The continuation is cooked though. 77. It's all about the fills, and I'm not getting great fills. It's like, where's. Okay, there, that's it, right? I'm gonna sell, and that's it. Like, where's the continued move, man? And I'm gonna sell right before it comes. Yeah, I think easing off here would make sense. I'll let it, like, give it a minute. Let's see what it wants to do. Or I cannot afford to give back profits here. Only winning trades.
KITT.
Watching and waiting.
KITT. OMEX.
Oh my god, man. First trade. First trade. First trade. Come on, bro. The first trade over the highs with size. Time to shut it down, it would seem. $12, $13. And those bids are enough to hold this up, at least for now. I'll be waiting. There's a lot of selling pressure. I'm going to take 78.
STAK.
DXYZ.
$84. Like you know you can. That trade just now, if that trade didn't work, I'd have been cooked, bro. But it held up nicely. Moon, 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 moon. Nothing works these days. Bro, that right there in the hot market, easy 87, 88. 1K trade. All this hesitation here. Selling, selling, selling.
GPRK.
Selling, selling, selling.
JZXN.
$83.3, $83.7, 83.1. Time. This is a new candle. We'll see if it respects this consolidation.
JZXN halted. JZXN will resume at 11 hours 20 minutes and 24 seconds.
The range is wider this time. I'm going to stop out flat and wait. Could have been a quick breakdown to reclaim, but gotta be safe here.
GPRK.
Better safe than sorry, they say.
CLNN.
Okay. Time. 3 minutes and 5 minute candlestick. Okay, okay. There's a lot of selling still.
DTSS.
I didn't get the ad. I could have added. Should have added. We'll try it again. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try it again. Come on, KB.
CORZ.
Tell them to come on down. The price is right.
DXYZ.
Give it one more hurrah here. Is the breakout trade worth it? I think it'll depend on a couple factors. But watching the pullback. Don't you dare.
NFB.
Don't you dare. I can't tell if we're holding or not. Okay, maybe it is. Wait, I got. Oh, shoots. I got. Oh, okay, that's fine. Damn, I'm in 74? Holy shit. Dang, this is low, bro. 72? Come on.
AG or
Oh my god. Okay, I'm out of here. To the depths with this. Okay. Jeez. The view up did not hold. $68. Might be a straight Christmas tree here. This is backside. What I'm thinking is to watch to see if we get the same setup that we saw on CEP.
WIMI.
But it all depends on if it gives an early, like it has to give a good early pullback here. If this curls right back up, it's like there's nothing for me here on this dip.
YXT.
It is below VWAP, which is not ideal. But it's our first pullback after a strong move. So if the 5 minute setup is to hold up, there's a good chance we can like retest 76. And if we're lucky, maybe the highs. Moment of truth. My fill is pretty awful, of course. I needed to wait a little longer.
RIOT. SMMT.
GDPR.
QBRE.
All right, that's one. Now watching for 2 and 3, and they got 70. I got 73.68.
RIOT. GPRK.
Boy, no way we drop a cent while I'm selling. I wouldn't mind seeing like a new low. Let's see what it does. If we can get something good here. 6-9 maybe holding up though.
LG.
7-1. Can we see it? Can we see it? Can we see it? Boy, that was a miraculous fill somehow. I will take it. About time I got rewarded for all the terrible fills. About time they gave us something.
JZXN may resume. RIOT.
The new 5-minute candle is a couple seconds out. We haven't really made much progress here though. VWAP is 73.50.
DLTH.
HOLL.
I'm leaving. Bro, it's twice I put my order on the ask and the stock is just immediately down a cent. Like, I'm not using any size. This doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, man.
HOLL.
And now to slap me in the face, stock gives a big green candle.
BSME.
Good volume too. Ah, man. What I want to see is the 5-minute candle make a new high. If that happens, I think we'll see 76, and there's a chance for 86. It's kind of why I'm like still sticking around here. Hopefully not overstaying my welcome and over trading, because that's the other side of it.
DXYZ.
It's kind of tough.
WTTR. BSM.
I'm gonna wait for the new 5-minute candle, and I'm gonna wait. I think I'll wait for a breakout trade. Unless there's, I mean, the dip will have to convince me. But we'll see. There's a minute, less than a minute.
BSME. JZXN may resume in less than a minute.
WIMI.
WIMI.
Over 72 would be nice to see, and at least a test of 73. Will we see it?
BSME.
Seeing the depths here. Candles closed.
WIMI.
ICCT.
WIMI.
Might be finished. All right, that's it. That's it. This is it. Not going any more than this. All right. At least we recovered something. We're now down $380, which is better than the 700 earlier. So taking it. The freaking thing is back up. I would have been long 69. Let's see how this would have played out. I would have been long 69 on this red to green. Would I have made anything here?
ICCT.
This is where you X out your platform and get going. There's stuff I have to check, but other than that, that's the day though. I'm not trading. Ending it here, calling it. Pre-market. One, primarily I'm using market orders. I guess that, I mean, honestly, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. There's no excuse why I'm not here since 6 a.m., 7 a.m. every day. That's the real answer. There's no excuse. Even if I'm here with one share, there's no excuse for not trading pre-market. I think for all of us, if we're able to, we should be doing it, right. There's no excuse. One share, 10 shares, get a good rhythm over a few weeks or months, and then, you know, there's no excuse to not be trading pre-market. That's the real answer. I can't make up anything about market orders, any of that stuff. That's nonsense. We have the hotkeys, we have everything. Like the real answer is I'm not doing everything I should be doing. That's the real answer. So I gotta push myself to be better in that way. But alright, shutting it down, walking.
STAK. NBR.
Bro, what's up with this lighting, bro? Like, come on. I probably need to install a ring light behind this thing, but then my eyes will be cooked fully. It's definitely a bit of a different dynamic though, pre-market. Like, for me, I'm not used to stocks going up like at $5 a share in 5 candles. In fact, when stocks are strong, like really strong into the open, you know, if I'm not in and really holding, or if I miss the first trade, it's hard to buy high because it seems like we should have a pullback. It's the thing with pre-market, it's definitely some really crazy opportunities that, when you look at the chart, man, stocks go from like 3 to 12 in like 10 minutes. It's just insane without a halt. But there's no excuse. I tried it twice or 3 times over the years, and the problem I've always had is that I never would trade it long enough. I'd go for like a week or two, and then I think twice it was a colder stretch, and then the last time it was hot, and I was red for like 5 days in a row, and I'm like, to hell with this. But that's the wrong approach, right? The right thing to do is to size down and just slowly, slowly, refine the edge, and then go from there. Oh yeah, Ross is a master of free market right now, man. A master for free market game. Back in the days, free market, was like kind of dead, but now, the last 2 3 years, it's been, well, honestly, a lot of the times you're seeing the same type of moves you would see at the open in pre market. So it's definitely worth it for sure. Big gains, Cameron, man. We gotta, one day, man, one day. It is cool to see people use Thinkorswim and make that kind of money too. It's nice to see. Whether it's some of the team house members, students. I mean, if you guys ever look on Twitter, man, not everyone is on there, but if you check it out, there are some crazy traders on Twitter as well. People will share every now and again some of what they're doing. And even with Thinkorswim, you're seeing some people make like 60K in a day, 100K plus. So it's always encouraging, but you have to be careful too with P&L and not let it like discourage you in any way, because then you can fall victim to like comparison and or like just being discouraged, right? Like if you're red and then everyone else is green or something like that, you have to make sure you utilize it in the right way, which is to be motivated and inspired. Like for me, like seeing somebody make 150K on Thinkorswim, well, that tells me everything I need to know that this platform is still pretty solid, right? Now, they might not be hyper scalping in the way that I do, perhaps, a little bit longer hold time in some key areas, things like that, but, still good to know and see. And it makes sense, right? Some days we'll get stocks going from 5 to 15, really clean pullbacks, really high volume, and like the risk is there, But if you were to take those dips with size, and then it goes up $2 a share. I mean, you're in there. We had time to maybe load in. Let's say if you're looking to be massive size and you're taking bigger risk, instead of the 2K shares I'm using, maybe you're loading in 5K size over and over throughout a 5-6 minute period. The stock curls up, you're in maybe 60,000 shares. You understand your risk is much higher. It makes more sense that yes, this is doable. You're seeing people do it. It's possible. So over time, as we all grow individually, we can all improve to different areas, different levels. Whether you go from $50 to $500, from $500 in a day to 5,000, whatever it is that you're able to do, is always pretty good. So the aim is always the same, regardless of days like today. I do like acknowledge and realize that I personally make a lot of mistakes, whether it's like mental mistakes or certain other tangible things. Gotta roll with the punches, roll with the flow. Gotta roll with the flow. But so far, so good. So far, so good. The year's been a slower start to the year, but definitely over time as the market picks up, you look at the SPY is down like crazy. We have to pull up the daily chart here. I think I'm on single screen. Should be good, yeah. SPY down versus, the last and it's going back since what, like 20 after the pandemic, really. It's just been straight incline. We did have this period here, so January 2022 to about May 2022, where it was a little slower, and then right back to uptrending momentum. So right here, downtrending, slower markets, but we still saw some hotter days. And I think this is the key with trading, right? Like, being consistent and really applying yourself on those hotter days. Even on a slower month, you can still have a really solid month. So just got to keep working, keep getting better, keep improving. We got Meta. Everything kind of looking like this SPY, and it makes sense. Unless one of these like large cap stocks really start to have issues fundamentally, they'll trade in alignment with the SPY. Honestly, some people will, depending on the company you love and you believe in, some people will look at different individual stocks, but the SPY kind of is what really runs the show here, right? They're all trading in tandem. SPY, I think, is just a little bit more secure, despite maybe yielding a less of a percentage at times. It contains more stocks, right? Netflix, and this is the risk of an individual stock, right? Just imagine. These things will make you want to go mad. Just imagine you bought back here in 2021. You bought in September, thinking, all right, we're at 500. I'm gonna look for that push to over to 1K, perhaps look for 50%. 2 months later, stock is down at 170. And if you say, man, this company might be struggling, they might even be failing, and I'm gonna just take the loss. It's so much of your depending on if you would have went in heavy, this is the risk, right? This is brutal, man. I think Meta also had this type of thing happen too. Timing can sometimes, be a huge factor as well. Even stocks like Tesla, right? Anybody who might have think, hey, I'm gonna just take this, I'm gonna chase this move a little bit, buy up here 450, look for 600. Here the stock is down at $200. So, the S&P 500, Nasdaq, the SPY, like these bigger indices, are a lot of times safer. A little bit safer. All right, I'm gonna go get some breakfast here, shutting it down. Take care, stay safe, stay green. Hit that thumbs up.
Y-A-L-A. C-O-R-T. RNG.
I'm looking at some of the comments here. I don't see any questions per se. Yeah, so take care, stay safe, stay green. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow, hopefully for a hotter day in the markets.